Welcome back to the Spicy 100. This is question 18. The recommended time for question 18 is 4 minutes, and it's a non-calculator question. So this is a bit of a quicker one. Okay, I'll read it to you. The velocity v, which varies with time t, of an object is modelled by the equation v equals 8t subtract 27t to the power of negative a half, where v and t are measured in meters per second and seconds respectively. Find the time in seconds at which the object will be at rest. So have a good read of that. Set your timer for 4 minutes, and when you're ready to make a start, pause the video, and best of luck with 18. So we have an equation for the velocity in terms of time. So velocity is very similar to speed. Velocity is the vector version of speed. So speed is scalar, doesn't have direction, but velocity has direction. So velocity and speed are very similar, measured in meters per second. The key thing is we're trying to find the time at which the object is at rest. So at rest, that implies that the velocity of the object is 0. So if you're at rest, that's when you're still, when you're not moving. And when you're not moving, your velocity is 0. So if you realize that that's what you need to do, then this question becomes a lot simpler. So what we need to do then, so this means that we're going to replace our v with 0, equates to 0. So 0 is going to be 8t subtract 27 t to the power of negative a half. So that's the equation we need to solve. Let's try and solve it. So when I have things with, especially when we've got negative indices, I think it's useful to take one of them to the other side. So I'm going to move the negative 27t to the power of negative half to the other side. So 27t to the power of negative half is going to be equal to 8t. Now, t to the power of negative a half, let's think about what that looks like. So t to the power of negative a half, so because it's a negative power, it's actually 1 over t to the power of a half. So you could also say it's 1 over the square root of t, because t to the power of half is the square root of t. So 27t to the power of negative half will be 27 multiplied by 1 over t to the power of half. So it's going to be 27 over t to the power of half, and that's going to help us to rearrange it. So we're going to get 27 over t to the power of a half equals 8t. So we can multiply the t to the power of half up to the 8t. So t multiplied by t to the power of a half. So remember, t on its own is t to the power of 1. When you multiply indices, you add them. So 1 plus a half is 1.5 or 3 over 2. So it's good to work with fractions here. So we're going to get 27 is equal to 8t to the power of 3 over 2. And then you could say that 27 divided by 8 is equal to t to the power of 3 over 2. So now we need to think, how do we undo that? What's the opposite? What's the reverse of t to the power of 3 over 2? So the clever trick we can use here, so if I said t to the power of 3 over 2, and I did this all to the power of 2 over 3, from multiplying the indices, our rules of indices, what you'd get, so 3 over 2 multiplied by 2 over 3 is 6 over 6. So it actually becomes t to the power of 6 over 6, or t to the power of 1, which is just t. So if we did t to the power of 2/3, so we did the reciprocal of 3 over 2, we just flipped the fraction, then actually that's going to get us to t on its own. So this means then that what we can do is if we then did 27 over 8 all to the power of 2/3, that would leave us with t. So what is 27 to the power of 2/3? So if we take the denominator of the fraction, so that's our root, so we're going to do the cube root of 27 over 8. So the cube root of 27 is 3. The cube root of 8 is 2. So that becomes 3 over 2. And then we're going to take the numerator, which is squaring it. So we had 3 over 2. So we're going to do 3 over 2 squared, which is 9 over 4. So the answer is going to be 9/4, or 2.25 seconds. So the answer here is t equals 2.25 seconds, or as a fraction 9/4 seconds. So because we equated our velocity to expression to 0, we found out when the velocity is 0, that's when it's at rest, and we find that happens at t equals 2.25 seconds. So that's the time that our object is at rest. I hope you enjoyed question 18. So that's a bit of a physicsy one. So you have to know about velocity there, and also how to manipulate indices and equations. So hopefully you felt confident with that. If you feel ready, why don't you move on and have a go at question 19. I hope you're enjoying the Spicy 100 series. If you are, please do subscribe to the Hench Maths channel. Thank you.